to me, and that was then. I said to him, you can't always get what you want. No, you can't.
Hi, and welcome to Objective 1, and we're looking at Principles 3 and Principles 4, that rational people make decisions at the margin and people respond to incentives. Let me adjust my camera because it's really bothering me there. Sorry. Okay, so rational people make decisions at the margin. What we mean here by rational people is something that we've alluded to earlier, and that was that people will do an action. They will decide to do something, or yes, they'll do it, as long as the benefit of that action is greater than the cost. And this could be monetary, it could be opportunity cost, which sometimes is not monetary. So you want to kind of look at those and determine if you should consider them based upon the problem. If the benefit of the action is equal to the cost, told you my writing would get better, then basically people will be indifferent. Whatever, right? However, if the cost is greater than the benefit, then people will not choose the action. So choice is like no action. Or they will not say no to the scenario, if you will. Okay, so we make decisions, by and large, rational people do, by comparing the cost versus the benefit. Think about products, perhaps large products that you've chosen, a car, a house. What do? You tend to look at the cost of the product versus all the benefit that you believe you can receive from that product. Excuse me. Now, for my micro students, you'll see that the word marginal is here. What marginal means is incremental. So if we start with looking at costs and benefits, and I'm going to put a 5 over here, and let's say that this top is consumption, meaning how much you will consume. And the bottom is going to be your enjoyment, how much pleasure you get. We call that utility in economics. And this is your quantity up here of your consumption. Let's imagine an all-you-can-eat restaurant. And I'm saying the average rational person here. So your first plate that you come up, you're definitely going to say the benefit of that was worth the cost. So that's yes. From 1 plate to 2 plates, you might, all you can eat crab legs, I'm all about it. Okay, so there you go. Yes. From 2 to 3, now you're getting full. So what happens usually with me and probably with many of you is you go back, but you only get what you really want, right? And so this might be an indifferent at this point. Although when we get to 3 to 4, I'll put indifferent there. When we get from 3 to 4, it's a definite no. You're going to have to roll me out of here because I've eaten too many crab legs at all you can eat. So restaurants count on this. And also the silent judging of other folks, which would be what? The opportunity cost, right? So I've got to get up, go get my plate. Whoops, sorry about that. Get up, go get my plate, and all the others are silently judging me. So we will take an action only if the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost. Let's take a look at some examples here. As a manager of a local Save-A-Lot, you are thinking of hiring one more cashier that would increase sales revenues by $400. Okay, so they're going to increase sales revenues by $400. Oops, sorry about that. I'll do that because it's all hinky when I try to use my mouse at the same time. So $400 is going to be the benefit of hiring the cashier. The new sales cashier would earn $300 a week. $300 is the cost. So should we hire the new cashier? And the answer is absolutely. Because the benefit is greater than the cost, we should hire them. Now be careful, because a lot of students will start reading things into the problem when you're not there. This just basically gives you two quantifiable numbers. Don't start thinking about, okay, yeah, but what about insurance and all those things? It doesn't talk about that. So don't overcomplicate the problem. Okay, the next question, you pay $8 a month for access to Disney Plus regardless, and it's unlimited, okay? So $8 a month regardless of how many shows you want. So here our cost is $8. The benefit, what's the benefit here? The benefit is going to be the enjoyment from the movie. So here we don't necessarily have something quantifiable. So the benefit is going to be the utility that you get from the movie, the want satisfying power of a good or service. And so here, if the utility of the movie, meaning what else is vying for your attention and all of those kinds of things, but by and large, let's keep it simple. If you like the movie, you're not really incurring an additional cost because the cost is based monthly, not by usage rates. So here, basically what we have, kind of using another scenario, the cost is $8 and the quantity is from 0 to infinity. So it's a constant. So we would say, yes, you would probably watch the movie because you don't incur any monetary cost, but you might incur some opportunity cost. Okay. And these are just the publishers kind of talking about, I'm froggy, trying to talk about a little bit, why you would choose one or the other. The fourth principle is that people respond to incentives. And when we think about incentives, it's inducing a person to act. So here we said rational people will make decisions as long as the benefit is greater than the cost. But what about things like buy one, get one? And it might be buy more, it might be, just give me a second, package stores like memberships like Costco. Now, do I really need 7,000 packets of sugar? But I get them at such a cheap cost. So this kind of messes up a little bit the cost versus the benefit. Incentives, things like it might be a sale for a particular time. Well, the benefit, the cost went down, but did my benefit really go up? The answer is no. But now I'm thinking, well, I can't pass up this deal. All right. So when people respond to incentives, and it's amazing the types of information that we will give up because there's an incentive attached to it. One of my I have a credit card for business, and it will give me cash toward doing certain things. Well, those companies are paying the credit card to sponsor those activities where they give me 20% off or something, a meal or what have you. But those businesses pay a membership fee to the credit card to make those things happen. And so I'm like, well, the cost is lower. Okay, I was indifferent, but now I'm going to say, yeah, that's fine. So notice how it kind of changes that cost versus benefit. Okay, here's an example. The government increases the gasoline tax, oh gosh, by $1 per gallon. How would consumers respond? Well, we know that as the price of something increases, the quantity decreases, all else held constant or other things equal. So here, people would buy less gas. Now you'll learn, if you're in micro, about how Well, would you really? Because you don't have any great alternatives to your gas vehicle at the present time. We all can't go out and buy new cars the minute that the gasoline tax increases. Again, here's some other things. We might carpool, bike ride, and again, this is a disincentive because what we're doing is raising the price so that people will buy less of it. Okay, so incentives would be lowering the price so the quantity goes up. Businesses are going to respond, depends on what type of business. This is where I want to overthink things, but let's say gasoline retailers, they're going to want to sell more. And so kind of the opposite effects happens with those demand and supply. Let's take a look at some examples. You're selling your black 1967 Chevy, thank you, Impala. You've already spent $2,000 on repairs. At the last minute, the transmission dies, and you pay $1,400 to have it repaired, or you can sell the car as is. So which should you do? In each of the following scenarios, should you have the transmission repaired? Now again, what we're going to do is the cost versus the benefit. Right now, you've already spent $2,000 on repairs. The Blue Book value, what you could get for the car, is $14,500 if the transmission works and $11,200 if it doesn't. So this would be your benefit, but to get that benefit, you'd have to spend the $1,400. So I should kind of do that. And this would be your benefit without getting the transmission fixed. So what we want to do here is to take a look at the difference. So we'll take 14,500. We'll subtract 11,200. So there's a difference in the price of 3,300. So 3,300 becomes our cost of having it fixed. I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. That is our benefit of having it fixed. And our cost is going to be the cost of repairs of 1,400. Benefits greater than the cost. So the answer here is yes, we would totally do it. Okay. Now you might have asked, why didn't I look at this $2,000 on repairs? The reason I didn't is this is a sunk cost because it says you already spent the $2,000 on repairs. So I'm just going to look at the difference between those two things. Okay, the Blue Book value is $12,000 if the transmission works and $11,000 if it does not. So now we'll look at the difference between, okay, we could get 12,300 versus 11,300. Okay. So this is going to be the benefit that we got. The cost is $1,400. Okay, that's kind of stupid. No, we're not going to have it fixed. There you go. Here's one of those challenge problems. The cost of operating a 75-room hotel for the night is $6,000, and there's 5 empty rooms for the night. If the marginal cost of operating one room for the night is $40, the hotel manager should rent one of the empty rooms only if the customer is willing to pay. So here our cost is $40. What will make the manager rent the room? As long as the benefit exceeds the cost, and that would be at $40.01 or more. So we're going to say that it has to be more than $40. So I'm already just taking this first part. Why? Because the average benefit will exceed the marginal cost, or because the marginal benefit will exceed the marginal cost? It's B. Now notice one word is the difference between these two. So one of the things I want to express to you is to read carefully. In the homework, you get additional attempts, so that's not a big deal, but on the test, you don't. So make sure you read each of the questions carefully, because one word can make the difference. Okay, that's the end of this objective, and we'll do principles 5 and 6 next. Thank you.